I've described the image in many lectures of standing in Marin County with a frisbee, about to throw a frisbee. And through my mind went the inscription over Gandhi's tomb, which says, "Think of the poorest person you have ever seen and ask whether your next act will be of any use." See, do you throw the frisbee or don't you? That's the issue of an affluent culture.
Hi, I'm Aidan Weller. Welcome back to my podcast. It's about days of my life. And today, we're in Arambol, a small fishing village in the south of India. Arambol life suits me, or maybe I suit Arambol life. That sound you can hear are the waves lapping up on the shore, and the small creaking sound is the sound of me rocking back and forth in my hammock, looking up at the stars, just waiting for the electricity to go out. And I've started to find what I was looking for. I've forgotten all the hustle and bustle of the airports, all the beeping of horns, all the craziness left behind, and for once, I seem able to exist with my own thoughts. I was lucky enough to pick up some old cassette tapes. The tapes were just left in a cafe with a simple note saying pass them on. I've been listening to them in my hammock most nights. They're a series of talks by a man called Richard Albert. He's now known as Ramdas. He's a kind of spiritual guru, I guess. I lie swinging in my hammock most evenings, listening to these talks, and it's like he's speaking directly to me about my life.
It's interesting, when you want to get high, suffering is a real drag, and you want to avoid suffering as hard as you can, because we've all been grown up so much with the myths of this culture that more is better. And it gets scary because you based your life on collecting things. It was so safe. It was so free of any emotional pain. And a lot of people get high in order to get out of emotional pain. That the game wasn't to be high, the game was to be free. And that free meant you couldn't push anything away, and you couldn't grab at anything. We all have these incredibly compassionate hearts, but most of us armor our hearts with our mind, with our thought. And the only thing that we're involved in at this moment in our practices then is breaking down that armor so that that intuitive heart can function. Suffering stinks. And when you look at the pain of another human being, it wipes you out because you empathize with it. And you feel so horrible about their pain. And you would do anything to take it away. But if you are going to be free, there's nothing you can turn away from or turn off.
My life in Arambol is simple. I have a small wooden shack by the side of the beach. It costs me 50 rupees a night, which is less than 50 cents or 50 pence. I get up when I want to get up, and I stretch and yawn and listen to the sea. take the time to consider where I am, and I feel grateful. I feel alive. In the mornings I walk a few hundred yards up a rocky path of little shops to the local cafe. The waiters there play chess with me as I order my breakfast. It took me 9 days to beat the first waiter, and then after that he wouldn't play me anymore. It seems to be a local Indian thing. Once you've been beaten by a traveller, you never play them again. There's times when I just lie in the ocean for hours and hours. The sea is light blue and the sun shines down on me, and I feel like it's directly giving me energy, and like the waves in the sea are hands cradling me slowly back and forth. I appear to have all the time in the world. For once in my life, things are slow, and I'm not worried about what's going to happen next, where I should be, or who I should be. In the daytimes I play football with the kids on the beach, and they don't ask for money here. Arable is self-contained. Yes, there's poverty, but also there is contentness. The more time I spend in Arable, the more I seem to grow into somebody that I didn't know I could be. It's like the smallest voice in my head, the one that says, "You're okay, everything's okay, don't worry." That's the only voice I can hear now. I go down to the beach and to the waves and I walk along them, and I stop and I drench myself in the salty water. Some of the local village girls put lemon juice in my hair and it starts to go curly. I decide that I feel comfortable enough that I'll wear a sarong. Just a sarong. One idle afternoon, I'm there lying on the beach, when one of the local girls comes up to me. She's selling little rugs and sarongs. Now they don't ask for money in Arambol, but they do try to sell you things. And this girl's been trying to sell me a rug. And every day I've said, "I'm sorry, I haven't got any money," or "I'm not interested." But I feel like I can't brush her off anymore. So I say, "Here's a few rupees. Just sit and talk to me for 10 minutes. How's that?" Her name is Aisha. She does this every day. I ask her how much money she makes, and she makes barely enough to pay for my little shack. In real terms, she's making less than $1 a day. But I see her walking up and down the beach all day long, getting brushed off. I ask her about her family life and about what she wants to be. And that question seems to absolutely floor her. She has no answer. She looks at me and she says, "I just want to be happy." She stays and she talks some more. And as she talks, I find myself slowly waking up again. I start to have the familiar feeling. Aisha tells me that she'd like to have an education, but that's not possible. She has family to look after. And I'm reminded of Jasmine. All of the peace begins to leave me. I give her 250 rupees, which is 4 nights accommodation. And I get off the beach and go back to my little shack, Since I've been in Orenburg, I hadn't done any drugs. I hadn't drunk any alcohol. I've been smoking cigarettes, but only 3 or 4 a day. To be honest, I hadn't even been thinking about it. But just like the little voice that says everything's okay, you're okay, the other voice comes back. The voice that's saying, this is painful. What are you doing here? What are you doing with your life? Look at you. This won't last forever. I start to pace around my little hut, and all of my peace and calm is leaving me. I find a local shop and I start drinking some beers. I decide to go down to one of the beach bars. There's only 1 or 2. They play loud music, and there's alcohol there. And then I dance. I dance with the locals, I dance with fellow travellers. I get more drinks, I do more dancing. The drinks get quicker, as does the music. I smile and wave and fall over. I play my foot like it's a guitar. I spin round and round. At one point I have a bandana on. I rip my shirt off and dance with my sarong. I get talking to an Israeli guy. Within 2 minutes I've told him everything about my life. I'm hot and I'm sweaty and I'm drunk. He says, hey bro, you want some of this? I look down and he's offering me a pill. Sure, why not? The music gets slower and my heartbeat gets faster. My movement, my being, my heartbeat is resonating with the planet again. I feel in tune. Until the music goes off. The generator's gone. There will be no more music, no more lights. I slip away from the crowds. I walk along the beach where the moonlight lights the sands. In the darkness, just the moonlight and me.
You're always in that one thought away from life.
And it comes to me. I should not be here.
That you can be the thickness of the moment.
There's lots of words for what happened to me on the beach walking along there. Lots of catchy phrases, like an awakening. A moment of truth. I don't know how or why it happened. It happened for me right there. I knew that my days in India were over. And in some ways I knew that that part of my life was over. As quickly as I had the thought, I knew that this would be the end. That's what I'd been looking for. The true heart of compassion lies within me, and I wasn't using it. If anything, I was scared of it. That's my gift. The guilt of privilege. To be able to know that you can do something better with your life and to not do it. That's what was causing me so much suffering. That's why the little voice was always saying, it's okay, you're okay. Because that little voice was the real me. It'd been allowed to live. And I'd felt like I was a completely different person, almost reborn. That one interaction with Aisha had brought me straight back down to that voice. But I wasn't going to run from it this time. No more running. I'm going to go back to England. I'm going to make a difference. This is me. This is who I was supposed to be. I'd both lost myself and found myself.